Now The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is out! We can once again explore the world of Hyrule, but this time with a new coat of paint. And it's clear that a lot has changed in the world. So many new things have been added. But what happened to some of the iconic locations from Breath of the Wild? Are they still there? Well, maybe? One that I thought of immediately was the Shrine of Resurrection, the place where it all began. But if we go there in Tears of the Kingdom, is it still around? Or is it completely gone now? Well, let's look into it. Now, in Breath of the Wild, we see the Shrine of Resurrection for the first time, and it plays a massive role in that game. Now, 100 years prior to the beginning of Breath of the Wild, Link was nearly defeated by Calamity Ganon's return, but he was saved by Princess Zelda near Fort Hateno, and she ordered Sheikah's soldiers to place him in the Shrine of Resurrection to recover. And so he was sealed inside of this tomb for over 100 years in order for him to return when the world needed him the most, which is what we saw at the beginning of the game, with Link awakening from his slumber of restoration within the shrine after hearing the call of Princess Zelda. And inside here, he receives the Sheikah Slate, as well as some basic clothing. And after this, he is allowed to leave the ancient Sheikah structure to fulfill his destiny of defeating Calamity Ganon and saving the world. But that isn't all. There's so much more beneath this shrine, as we saw during the DLC. In the Champion's Ballad, we found out that the final trial can be accessed by placing the Sheikah Slate in the pedestal found in the Shrine of Resurrection. Because when you do this, the chamber is actually revealed to be an elevator, which descends into a dungeon. So clearly, this place is so much more than a normal shrine. In many ways, it was one of the most important structures ever made. However, now in Tears of the Kingdom, where most Sheikah technology like shrines, towers, and guardians are gone, what has become of it? Well, let's go to it and find out. Ah, here we are, the Great Plateau. It's good to be back, and as you can see, in many ways, it is still the same, but some things here and there are missing. Mostly things related to the Sheikah technology seen in the previous game, which makes sense because they were all replaced. The Zonai are the hot new thing after all, but in many ways it is still the same. However, when we go towards the Shrine of Resurrection, we can notice one thing. It seems to be, gone? All we can see is a rock face, trees, grass, and some other plants, but no shrine. However, if you look closely, you can see that it's still there. Well, sort of. Behind these leaves, which you can walk through or burn away, there's actually a cave. And this is what is left of the once famous Shrine of Resurrection. Now, as you can see, a lot has changed. You can see that the iconic entrance to it is completely gone, and has become overgrown and almost hidden. And once you get inside, you can see that all the Sheikah technology that was once there is gone as well. The walls are bare instead of being covered by the iconic shrine architecture we are all used to. Even the paths where you use the Sheikah Slate to open the doors or go to the dungeon below are gone. Sure, the rough structure of it all is still there, but any link to the Sheikah technology or what we saw in the previous game isn't there anymore. Even if you go to the very back, you can see that the device that revived Link isn't there. Instead, inside of the inner chamber, only a small pool of water can be found. And that's what is left of the special machine that revived Link all those years ago. And as expected, the water actually has healing properties, as you can see right here. But you can find some things inside of here, like a bubble frog, which is one of the new collectibles in the game. They are some sort of mutated and corrupted bluepies that can be defeated in order to free them from this curse. And if you look closely in the back, you can also find a bombable spot, which actually leads to a small Yiga base below the shrine. They use it as a storage area and actually hold a construct hostage there. And after saving it, it will give you a side quest. But I won't spoil it here. However, not much can be found in this area. Some torches, banana crates, ropes, and that's about it. Now, compared to how it used to look, it has changed a lot, and really, it is almost unrecognizable. It is clear that any references to the Sheikah miracle that it used to be are gone, just like all the other shrines and ancient tech that have disappeared. At this point, it is nothing more than a small Easter egg for players to find, and of course, a place to hide another collectible. But how did this happen? I mean, this place changed so much from one game to the next, so what went wrong here? Well, let's look into it to see what could have happened. Now, when Link woke up and made his way out of the shrine, there's one thing that I noticed. He left the door open so the shrine could be accessed by anyone or anything when he was away. And as we all know, it wasn't closed after he finished his journey. So clearly, wild creatures and the elements could slowly erode the structure. But could it also be that someone actually destroyed it? Well, we can't find any proof for this. However, I will admit that it's hard to see what exactly caused the shrine to turn into this cave. The Yiga could, for example, get rid of this place so that Link can never use it again to return after almost dying. And they can be found on the Great Plateau. Heck, they even built a small base in the shrine itself, so it makes sense that they destroyed it. However, it could also be that they set up shop here after it already fell into disrepair. You can't find any tools in or around the cave, and there are also no signs of stuff like explosives being used to actually get rid of this place. So personally, I think it turned into this after years upon years of wear and tear. However, this does mean that there's a massive time gap between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and looking at the game, I think that is the case. A lot has changed in the world after all, with the Shrine of Resurrection just being one example. If you look around in Hyrule, you can see brand new settlements like Lookout Landing just outside of Hyrule Castle, and the Hylians even took back the castle to an extent, well, until Ganondorf returned due to Zelda and Link messing around. Meanwhile, the divine beasts that they used as protection from evil are gone, even though we saw them right after the ending of Breath of the Wild. All of this shows me that there's quite a big time gap between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And during this, the Shrine of Resurrection just kind of fell apart. And now it just looks like this, a cave. However, I will say it could also be that the Yiga did this because it is in their favor after all. However, it's cool to see that it's still in the game. But what happened to the dungeon below that was seen during the DLC? There are no traces of the entrance to it, so that has also been lost to time by the looks of it. And I mean the area right below, where the Yiga base can be found, also shows us that the elevator structure that was once there is most likely gone. But as we all know, Tears of the Kingdom also has underground sections. So can we find anything here? Well, when we go down, one thing is clear. The dungeon is either truly gone, or it's nowhere near as deep as this underground cave. But we do find something else that is quite interesting. In the area below, we can see that there's a location known as the Secret Spring of Revival. Now, this is clearly a reference to the shrine found directly above. But that isn't even all. The water found there actually has healing properties. So I bet this was used to bring Link back to life after he had fallen. So while the shrine is gone, the water that once gave it extraordinary powers is still there. And so now you know what has become of this iconic location. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell button because there's more Tears of the Kingdom content on the way. And let me know down below what you thought of this video. And leave a like if you like it. Yes, I thought it would be fun to do this little comparison video. It's a bit of an Easter egg video game mystery type thing. And some theorizing as well. Sorry if you hear a moped in the background. People in my neighborhood are insane. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if I need to do more stuff like this, because it was quite fun to do this little comparison with a little bit of light speculation. Yeah, cool. Bye, everybody!